Testing. Okay, there we go. Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, YouTube. Today is a day. Today is a lore day. So first we're gonna recap everything we've done, like everything we've done. So we've gone and we were in Mondstadt, and that was a lot in Mondstadt. We helped Storm Tower become Dvalin again by cleansing the poison that was hurting his mind. We gathered that the Abyssal Order is up to no good and no how. We went to Liyue for the Rite of Dissension, only to find Rex Lapis dead. We did a huge fetch quest for Zhongli. Fought Child, found out that Zhongli is Rex Lapis. Then we made it to Inazuma through a tournament. At Inazuma, we found the Vision Hunt, and we met 3 people whose visions were taken away, and they are hollowed out human beings, and it is quite awful. Some of the littler stuff that we found is our sisters working for the Abyss. I say that's littler, but I guess that's the main plot. The Jade Chamber was rebuilt and almost dropped on another monster. We've met a lot of friends along the way, which is always good. I lost my 50-50 to Mona, which, you know, whatever. That's what it is. We did a lot of work to just, like, make our characters formidable. And yeah, that's where we're at. We've also had a talk about faith, paganism, and my ideas on how I believe things interconnect. Excuse me. So yeah. So today we are headed to do our main stuff, our commissions, use up our resin, and then I will be reading lore. Because it is Friday, it is lore day. And the lore is not going to read itself. Pirate invasion, huh? So, how shall we all play this time? If no one's gonna be the pirate, we can't play at all. But no one wants to be the pirate, so what are we gonna do? What you doing? We're gonna play a game, but there's no one to be the pirate. If there's no one to be the pirate, no one to do the robbing, then we can't start the game. Oh, I know, you can do it. You wanna be a pirate? It will be done. Yay, let's get ready. When you're ready, come and join in. Ready? Ready! Let the game begin. How do we start? Shimmer me timbers, I'm robbing you? Good start for... Eek, pirates! Don't worry, Lulu, I'll save you. You must be a pirate. Tell me, why are you robbing us? Because I'm a pirate! I mean, that's as good of a reason as any for pirates. Sorry, give me 1 second. Alright. Not all of them. There are good guy pirates and bad guy pirates. Beto says she's a pirate, but she's one of the good guys. She gives us snacks. Everyone loves Beto. My headset decided to fight me. Why you gotta be a bad pirate? Why can't you be a good pirate instead? You're the one who said pirates are naughty and people who take things that don't belong to them. I see the error of my ways. Great! Owning up to your mistakes is the first step to becoming a better person. That's what Beto says. The next step is tidying up the area, because as long as you do good things, you can be a good person, even a pirate. You're really gonna make me look 90? You are, okay. I'm doing the children's chores for them. Okay. There we go. And then there's a fourth spot somewhere around here. There it is. Finished cleaning yet? Finished. Yay! These are for you. It was fun playing. And don't forget to be a good person doesn't stop here. Make it a habit for life. Hey, when do I get to be the captain? Next time. That's what you said last time. Oh. Just thinking about something. I don't remember what I was thinking.
There you are, eavesdropper.
Oh, good. We like time challenges.
Yeah! Right. Go as one! Got lucky that time. Don't blink!
Dodge this! Ah! Ah!
Hey! Speed of light!
Freeze!
Hey Bobby Vita, you here for Lore Day? You excited for Lore Day? I'm just doing my daily commissions and maybe doing some resin before we get into it. It's really annoying that pyro creatures are immune to overload because it counts as pyro damage. Oh, yeah, that is kind of annoying. I never noticed it until you pointed it out. Yeah, I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited too.
What you got? Another test subject.
Don't blink! Hey!
You're open!
Let's,
Let it rain! Not so hard! Incoming.
A little taste. Freeze.
Did the bunny blow you guys up? A little bit.
Dodge this.
I got carried.
I am also excited for Lore Day.
Picked another test subject. Fry.
Cool it. Don't miss your luck.
Don't blink. Hey.
I forgot Gaming Weekly boss for the first time last night, and my Claymore account is pain. Taking ages, it does so much damage. Have the weeklies changed over? I didn't think that they've changed over. I thought that was like in two-ish days. Do you still have time to do your weekly dungeon?
Freeze.
I might be wrong.
Fry.
Speed of light.
Picked the
Don't
wrong
blink.
test subject. Picked the wrong test subject.
I did 2 of the 3 on the Claymore account and still need to do them on the main account. Gotcha, so it is a little bit. I crowned Zena's Burst on the main account yesterday. I have just learned what crowning was. Literally just literally yesterday. Oh, we have a balloon to sabotage. This is gonna be a pain in my ass.
Cut to the chase.
Don't get frostbite.
No escape. Speed of light.
I need to farm Wolf Lord for more of Minghua's stuff. Gotcha.
Don't blink. I swear by my sword. Incoming. Hey. Speed of light. Got lucky that time. Don't blink.
I also started living on Guru on my main account because Geo's TM. There we go. It's all 4 of our commissions. That Guru is the dog general, right? I think? I might be wrong. I think I have him on my main account.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here,
Okay.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
He's a buffer for Geo units because he boosts defense. Gotcha. Let's see what we need for... We should probably go to Mondstadt if we want that stuff. Okay, so it's the ice boss, and we're gonna go to the outside of Mondstadt for the dandelions. Oh, the flowers aren't up today. I wonder when they respawn. Alright, well... I haven't fought his boss in ages. It's still easy. Well, that's good. It's good that it's easy. I'm gonna look and see if any of my UK friends are online. And then we will...
I do hope the Knights of Favonius are all working hard.
If you go back into the Ascension overview and select the local specialty there, you can click a thing to show them on the map. Oh, the collection thing, yeah. I'm doing that thing where I'm trying not to do too much. I just want to get my resin and my dailies done so we can get to the lore without having to spend, you know, an hour and a half on everything. But I might still do that, I don't know. I'm trying to make it so that...
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
I mean, while we're waiting for people to help, there isn't any... Oh. Oh. There's literally some right by us. So I guess I'm glad that you told me to do that.
Go as one! Shoot on sight!
Nice. Get these done really quickly. Oh, let's see, what's this say? Oh, Chris of Life got a lipstick now. Kiss of Life got a lipstick now. Looks cute. What does that mean?
Ready. Hunt them down.
Florian killed that Resivine by firing squad.
We have
Yeah,
work to
yeah,
do.
100%. No joke. Oh, I'm gonna fall. Yep.
Take a breather.
I'm so fast. They're really fast on this. I mean, the whole point of me inviting them was literally to make it so it would go faster.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
Moving. Time to testify.
Okay, and that's me done. Got a light stick.
I do hope the Knights of Favonius are all working hard.
Sweet. Alright. And that kind of concludes what we need to do before lore, but I'm going to go pick up some more dandelion seeds while I'm, while I'm out and about. way to get around this mountain to where I need to go. I don't see nothing. Some flowers.
Incoming! Hey! Ha! Don't blink! Hit!
Cool it.
Oh, hey. Just gave us a chest.
Quite the find.
Oh. Cool. So let's go. Let's go to Inazuma. Actually, first before I forget, because I keep forgetting that this is a thing.
Maybe you're not.
Trust rank. Gimme. Gimme. Hip hip hooray, I think.
If you ever have any.
Inazuma. Let's go read lore at this statue. We can also get healed up. Alright. It is lore time. Let's see. Where? There it is. Archive. I'm also going to take a moment real quick. Or to log in. Maybe log in? It's weird at what time they let you log in for the daily web thingy. Yep, I can log in now. Alright. Books! Collected books. We've done the Mondstadt Tower. We've done Legend of Vanessa. We've definitely done the ballads. Culture.
Onwards. We have work to
Heart
do.
of the Clear Spring. Yes, we did that one. Drunkard's Tale is my favorite so far. Bobby Vita says, depending on where you have more unlocked, most likely the main, you could read the weapon descriptions too. I could. I'm planning on doing that because we don't have Records of Gallant. Yeah, I guess I have read that one.
It's time
We're
to move
actually really
on.
close
We
to
shouldn't stay
finishing
here.
reading the books. So I will probably do the rest of the books today and maybe a couple of weapons. Which I need to. It is 31. We're doing the rest of the books today. Maybe we'll do some weapon descriptions and then we'll move into more weapon descriptions next Friday. As well as whatever else I can find for lore.
I do hope the Knights of Favonius
Alright.
are all working hard.
So breezed amidst the forest. Breeze Amidst the Forest and Breeze Upon the Lake constitute 2 volumes, a collection of a narrative of poems. The compilation is results of tireless work of scholars who have recorded and arranged countless songs sung by Mondstadt bards. Bards often elaborate upon the fabric of history to draw an audience and earn a few extra mora. Hence, most of their work has extremely low credibility. What has allowed the song to remain popular to this day and stand the test of thousands of winds of time is the thread of spectacular imagination and ingenious rhetoric that has been woven into them. With the weapons, there's usually sets with 1 weapon of each type belonging together. With the weapons, there's usually sets with 1 of each type belonging together. Oh, so like the Fervervius set.
Onwards. We have work to do.
What is to be sung hails from ancient times. The gods walked among us in their prime. The poet who finished recounting the tales of the runes and Vanessa began to tell the story of the Wind Dragon. He began to sing. The story I tell you hails from ancient times when gods walked among us in their prime. The dragon graced by the Animo was born in the highest heavens in that age of wonders. He slowly descended and inspected everything with curious eyes. He landed in a village, but the terrified villagers threw rocks at him. The dragon could not understand why they cried out in fear. He landed in a cemetery only to hearing the lament of grieving people. The dragon could not understand why they murmured in their sorrow. He landed in an orchard, but was cursed by the furious farmers who had lost their trees. The dragon could not understand why they were screaming in anger. The world was too complicated for a young dragon, and the dragon was bewildered, yet he did not give up. One day the dragon heard music pouring out of the holy lyre de Mihil, and this was the name of the lyre belonging to the Animo Archon. Enchanted by the poetry, the wind dragon landed beside the singer under the skies. People panicked, for the mighty elemental dragon and the great Archon reigned over the earth had never seen eye to eye. Behold his beauty and bigamy? The wind-born bard said. We do not know him, the people replied. What mysterious magic lays behind music and poetry that has the power to memorize both dragons and humans alike?
Stay here.
I, for one, cannot fathom it. The dragon decided to stay with the bard, for he too wished to be understood by all souls. He learned human speech and the wind-born bard's singing techniques, omitted. Later generations regarded him as one of the 4 winds that watched over and protected Mondstadt. Bobby Vita says, like sacrificial weapons, Fervonius weapons, the holy lyre of the skies, heavens. German is a bit wonky on it. Gotcha. An atrocious sun befell the kingdom, and a luminous pearl lost its glow. Nivelous silk grew dim, and wheaten gold burned brilliant no more. So began another tale that occurred in the lost Conria kingdom. The Eclipse dynasty had fallen, and disaster spread across the land. The alchemist known as Gold was corrupted by their own greed and ambition, and created an army of shadowy monsters with their uncanny powers. Durin, a black serpent dragon, rose from the sea to cast its shadow over Mondstadt. But it was at this very moment that there was no one to inherit the title of Longfang Knight. Thus the Knights of Fervonius could not fly their falcon flag. The persistent yet despondent prayers called upon the Archon of Mondstadt, the wind-born bard. The strings of the lyre were strung once more, and the wind dragon was summoned forth. As Mondstadt's last line of defense, the wind dragon battled the wicked dragon to the death in the raging storms. The wind dragon prevailed. He tore open the throat of the wicked dragon at the cost of ingesting its poisonous blood. The blood of the wicked dragon distorted gold with the powers to crumble mountains and poison the earth. The wind dragon protected Mondstadt with his life, and only wished to be understood by humans, and so he drifted off into a deep slumber. The Holy Lyre played a sorrowful tune. The Holy Lyre sang, "Should you awaken and spread your wings and live your life freely, a dragon is born to soar the skies, and mortals shall surely grasp your beauty." We have an asterisk from up there. Typically, when a life arises from the elements, it either descends and becomes a slime, or ascends and becomes a crystal fly. Rarely does this process give rise to dangerous elemental monsters. Elemental dragons are rarely seen and have powers to match the gods of old. Gold is very powerful, the Bobby Vita. It seems like gold also has a secondary meaning in Genshin Impact, to be honest. Like it has a will of its own. Alright. Volume 2, The Dragon. An expert from an investigation into cultural customs of the Wind Kingdom, more commonly known as the Records of Customs and Culture by Jacob Musk. The Wolf of the Knights of Boreas and the Lions of Lion Fang Knight, or the Dandelion Knight, of the Falcon of the Knights of Favonius, and the Wind Dragon Dvalin have long been regarded as the four winds that watch over Mondstadt. After Lion Fang Knight was liberated Mondstadt, and the Knights of Favonius were established, the Knight of Boreas joined them. Tradition of worshipping the four winds was gradually formed in Mondstadt. However, Dvalin, the ancient wind dragon, predated all of them. Approximately 100 years ago, the land was in chaos. Darkness spread, contaminating everything it touched. Barbarians and foul creatures roamed the land, forcing people to dwell within the city walls. It was an especially difficult time for Mondstadt. The Lion Fang Knight was without a suitable heir, and the Knights of Favonius had lost many brave men and women during the Bitter War. During the most difficult of times, Durian, the corrupted dragon of immeasurable power, began attacking Mondstadt. Gold is a person. She's a Conria alchemist.
We have work to do.
Gotcha. Where was I? The prayers of Mondstadt people awoken the Animo Archon, and his will summoned forth the wind dragon Dvalin. As the last defender of Mondstadt, Dvalin battled Durian with all his might, and the result was clear. Durian's remains still lie upon the top of the snowy peaks of the south of Mondstadt, but the story of how the battle ended was lost in time. It was said that Dvalin ripped out Durian's throat, and together they fell from the sky. Durian's body sunk into the snow, while Dvalin's was summoned by the Animo Archon and fell into slumber. People used to believe that Dvalin would wake whenever Mondstadt faces a new threat, but in these times of peace, the belief of the four winds has gradually eroded, and their temples all lay but completely deserted. Citation of unknown origin. By the time the knights finally discovered that the foreign monstrosity named Store Terror, with which they had clashed countless times, was in fact Dvalin of the Four Winds, the enmity had grown between them and drove in conflict that could not be undone. One can scarcely imagine the betrayal Dvalin must have felt when he awoken after 100 years of slumber, only to find that the people of Mondstadt, who he had protected with his life, had forsaken him. Which is super sad, yeah. The fox and... Oh, wow. Alright. Do you know Durian's brother? No, I don't think I know Durian's brother. I don't think, anyway.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
I was muted that entire freaking time. I literally do not know what the last thing that anyone heard was. My bad, guys. Gold is very powerful. She's a Connery and an alchemist, so I was like, oh, Gold is a person. Do you know Durian's brother? He's with the Knights. As in, the Durian's dragon brother is with the Knights? Or, like, has a human form and is with the Knights? It's kind of crazy. Durian was made via alchemy. Gotcha. Gold was also made a lad out of chalk. That is on one hand really impressive, but on the other hand really creepy. And he was a very good alchemist. The guy made out of chalk.
I do hope the Knights of Favonius are all working hard.
Anyone from the Knights you know that is an alchemist? Not that I know. Isn't there... I want to get out of this, but isn't there that one guy who sits by the alchemy table? Is he part of the Knights? You gotta remember, I don't know many people right now. No, not Timaeus. Okay, that's the guy that's outside of the tent. I recognize his name. Timaeus is his name. Gotcha. Have you been doing story quests or just the main story right now? I can actually give me 1 second and I can show you my quest log. So this is where we are. We have some of these world quests. Are there some quests that you would...
We have work to do.
Suggest? Out of these that you see? Is there anything that I should be doing world quest wise or etc. that you would suggest? Because I do plan on more or less doing side quest days, like there's lore days, just not on a per se regular schedule, just when they come up, if that makes sense. I mean, some world quests open up different areas or bosses, like Serial's Storm Chaser questline gives you access to the Thunder Manifestation. Gotcha.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
I can just tell you who it is. It's not required you do a quest for it. Sure, if you want to. If it's not a big spoiler, I should say. If it's a big spoiler, I would request that you don't. But if it's like just a side thing that I may miss if I'm not paying attention, then that's fine. I'm not even sure when it's revealed. That's fair. To be fair, that's part of the reason why I'm going through the story and stuff again, is so that other people can go through the story without having to play it themselves, replay it themselves. and have some enjoyment out of that, if that makes sense. Give me 1 second. My work
Onwards.
just texted me.
We have work to do.
I need to answer this.
It's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here. Onwards. We have work to do.
Okay, sorry about that. Work stuff is work stuff. Alright. Back to this one's a really long one, so I'm not sure we'll get all of it done, but we can try to get at least the 5 volumes. Dandelion, dandelion, ride on the wind to a faraway land, the little fox chanted. He blew the dandelion flowers and sent the seeds flying. He then spoke in a more serious tone. May my teacher's wishes ride on the wind and reach the Animo Archon. A wind blew past us and swept away the dandelion seeds. Did they fly to a better place, carrying my hopes and dreams with them? When did this happen? Some time ago, behind the village, there grew a forest of countless lush trees. At the center of this forest was a small lake. The lake was that of stained glass windows of the Mondstadt Cathedral, crystal clear and shimmering in the sunlight. The sun shone through the tree tops and glistened on the water's surface like fragments of gemstones. It was really something. The weather was cool that day. I was hunting in the forest when I arrived. Okay, hold on. I'm going to change my character because I literally can't stand them constantly saying stuff. So I'm going to change it to the Traveler because he doesn't really talk all that much. There we go. Let's get back to it. Sorry, guys. Okay, where were we? There's typical... Okay. The weather was cool that day. I was hunting in the forest when I arrived at the lake's edge. The shimmering water somehow reminded me of a girl I loved long ago. I couldn't remember much about her, but felt that her eyes must have looked like the lake, glistening if harboring fragments of gemstones within. I became lost in thought as I stared at the glistening water. Walking transfixed along the lakeside, I had forgotten entirely I was out for a hunt. I came to when I heard the sound of something freezing up. It was a mist flower growing by the lake, having just frozen the water around it. Next to it was a white fox, its tail frozen in the ice. Poor critter. It must have had its tail in the water by the mist flower while it was drinking. Mist flowers are dangerous plants and can cause frostbite if handled without care. Extreme caution must be taken when handling them. As it saw me approach, Oh, excuse me. That was a harsh sneeze. As it saw me approach, the fox struggled in fear, but its still frozen tail kept it rooted in spot. The fox whimpered in pain. Oh no, this won't do, I thought to myself. Poor critter, it's gonna die anyway if I don't save it. I might as well end its pain by bringing it home as my game for the day. I imagined what a delicious fox stew I could cook with the carrots I grew. Just thinking about it gave me the energy and brought a smile to my face. I took out my hunting bow and slowly walked toward it. Be good and stay put. Be good and stay put. That's what my father's fathers had taught me. When I went fox hunting, I always chanted his words silently so that my hands wouldn't shake when pulling the bowstring. But just as I was about to release the arrow, the fox lifted his head and looked me straight in the eye. Its eyes, like the lake, glistened as if harboring fragments of gemstones within. My heart began to spin, as if a strong wind were blowing up inside it. My arrow missed its target and instead smashed the ice, releasing the fox's tail. The fox raised its tail and looked at me once more before running off to the forest. I came to my senses and began the chase. But who in this world could run faster than a fox? Gradually, the fox began to shrink in the distance, eventually turning into a white spot. Hey, don't go! I shouted, barely catching my breath. After hearing my words, the spot seemed to slow. Is it waiting for me? I pondered. If it's running for its life, a fox is able to shake off anyone in no time. Foxes are strange animals. Even when running on a flat plain like Windrise, where one can see clearly for miles, they somehow still disappear from view. It's almost as if they run into another world. This led me to my conclusion. The fox must be waiting for me. Convinced of this fact, I chased the glittering white spot for hours on end. Suddenly, a chilling wind began to blow. I stood there shivering, and what I saw next astounded me. How could this be? Suddenly, instead of one, there were now 2 white spots. More appeared. 3, 4, 5. They seemed to grow in number as the wind blew. Eventually, I lost track. Suddenly, with a stinging sensation, one of them flew directly in my eye. Upon inspection, I discovered the spots were in fact nothing more than dandelion seeds floating in the wind. The fox had disappeared. I had laughed at my own foolishness and went home. For supper, I had carrot fox stew, although without the fox, or any other meat for that matter. The gods know how much I hated boiled carrots without meat. I felt starving and fell asleep, and in time I fell asleep. I woke in the middle of the night to something stirring outside my door. Having failed to catch a fox, I went to sleep with only the tasteless boiled carrots in my stomach. If not for what happened next, I would have forgotten about the fox by now. I woke with a start to a strange noise coming from outside my door. Perhaps the boars have come to eat my carrots. I hop out of bed and open my door. To my surprise, there stood a tiny white fox. Its fur was so white that it glowed in the dark, not unlike the way the sunlight sparkles on water after filtering through tree tops. This must be the same fox from earlier. I thought again of those eyes that looked like glittering gemstones in water, gazing at me as if from the depths of my heart. As I walked over to the fox, unarmed and with tired eyes, this time it stayed still and waited for me in silence. The closer I drew, the greater in stature it became. By the time I stood before it, it had magically transformed into a human. She was a tall and slender woman with a swan-like neck and pearly skin. Her eyes sparkled like gemstone fragments in the pool of water. In the darkness, they seemed to shine like rays of sunlight on water after filtering through the tree tops. What a beauty! She looked a lot like a girl I fell in love with long ago. Though I barely remember her name, those eyes tell me that it must be her, I thought to myself. This can't be. Must be some type of magic fox. Stranger still, the idea of a magic fox had only occurred to me in that instant. You'd believe anything after you see those eyes. For all the magic and transformations I had witnessed, nothing amazed me quite as much as the gemstone lake of her eyes. For a while we stood silently in the dead of night. At last she spoke. Though not in our common tongue, I could still somehow understand her. Some other magic, perhaps. I would have died by that lake had you not come in my hour of need. She paused and continued. Although to die by the gemstone lake is not a bad thing, we foxes are grateful beings, so you must let me return the favor. She bowed to me, her long silky black hair flowing down off her shoulders like streams. Whew. For the next few days after that, the fox never came again, but in those few days, prey in the forest became gradually more abundant. Everything from small finches, long-legged cranes, and even scurrying boars. Maybe it was the change in season or some sort of repayment from the fox. Whatever the case, the following day brought real stew to the table. But the fox never came again. As strange as it may seem, it had honestly been easier to sleep hungry. Even with a full, satisfied stomach, I couldn't help but to think about the day we met, and the woman that the fox had turned into. When I would gaze upon her eyes again, glittering like the water in the lake. Lying half asleep with a heart full of turmoil, I heard a faint sound at my door. I hopped from the bed and swung open the door, eager to see a small white silhouette awaiting. But there were no lake blue eyes, and no fluffy white tail. Instead, all I could see were dandelion seeds drifting in the white moonlight, floating like snowflakes in the air. Suddenly, something got caught in my nostril. Ha-choo! Immediately, the fluffy white dandelion seeds began to swirl, filling the sky like a snowstorm. Amidst the flurry of dandelion seed, a pair of jewel-like eyes were looking at me, staring starlight into my heart. Waving away the swirling dandelion seeds, I started walking towards the small fox. The fox raised its ears, and its furry tail flattened across the grass as it turned to disappear into the depths of the forest. I hurried and followed closely behind. In amongst the darkest of the trees, the soft patches of white could be seen weaving between the shadows. Their silhouette tiptoed like the moonlight casts among the tree leaves, or like hesitant strides of a crafty sealy. With unfaltering trust, I followed the fox around and about, soon emerging from the dark forest in a seemingly faraway land. There, in the moonlight, a sea of dandelions lay before me, stretching as far as my eye could see. Stunned by the sight, I began to notice a rustling noise coming just from behind me. Excuse me. It was a light, delicate sound, like that of a girl walking barefoot across pine needles and leaves on the ground. The fox approached me from behind. The night air ferried her presence, cool and damp, whisked together with slight bitter of fragrance of dandelion flowers. 2 hands with slender, ice-cold fingers rested upon my shoulders. She leaned in close to my ear, and her long hair draped down over my shoulder. Behind me, I felt the soft rhythm of both her breath and her heartbeat. It made me feel calm and at ease. Only the foxes know the way to this place. It is the homeland of dandelions. It is my desire that you would tarry here? Tarry here and teach my children human language. In return, I will teach you the magic of the foxes. There was a tickle in my ear, as if one of the dandelion seeds has grazed upon it on its journey into the warm night air. Strange, I certainly never mentioned anything about magic to her before. How could she have known? Without answering, she took my hand and led me to the depths of the sea of dandelions. The night breeze from both north and south carried a bitter fragrance of dandelion flowers and faded memories. In those fields of velvet white, she showed me how foxes play together in their own fashion until the moon rose high in the starry sky. Volume 5. In the boundless sea of dandelions that exists in the middle of nowhere, I watched the seeds take off at the softest touch of a breeze. Suddenly, I knew the answer to the question that I had been lingering on my mind for years. So all the foxes that disappear during hunt, this is where they hide away, I thought to myself. What a beautiful place. But when I began to teach the little fox to speak our common tongue, my heart always felt empty, like a wind was blowing inside of me. When we talked, I would look into her gemstone-like eyes. In those moments, I felt like I was speaking not to a fox, but to a girl I used to love many years ago. And so when she was around me, it was as if I was in the presence of the child of someone I had once loved. We had an enjoyable time together, but the experience was somehow tinged with sadness. But the thought of her promise, if I succeed in teaching her children to speak common tongue, I shall impart the magic of transformation to you when the time comes. Remembering the way she made the solemn promise to me, I knew she was serious, and that gave me determination. Could I transform into a flying bird once I mastered the magic? How high would I be able to fly? Maybe I could transform into a fish and finally have a chance to go to Musk Reef. I could even use my magic to hunt. I couldn't contain my excitement. No more meatless carrot stew for me. I lost track of how long I stayed in this dandelion sea, where everything swayed gently from the wind. The one reason was that the little one was such a fast learner. I taught him not only our language, but everything I knew in one package, including how to count, how to grow carrots, how to change window panes, how to sharpen knives. When it came to rest, we would talk idly. Why must you learn human speech? He answered swiftly. So that when I transform into a human, I can befriend them. I continued. Why would you want to befriend the humans? He dropped his gaze. Water real quick. Alright. Why must you learn human speech? On occasion, I asked the little fox this question. He answered cheerfully in common tongue. So when I transform into a human, I can befriend them. Why would you want to befriend the humans? This seemed to make him sad, and he dropped his gaze. I saw a boy in the distant forest. He was dressed in gray, and he looked and had eyes like a wolf, he added. I had just mastered my magic and was running around excitedly on my hind legs. Running on grass was fun, but sadly, due to the difference in height, a fox can't see or smell the same things that a human can. I'm sure you can guess what happened next, teacher. Suddenly, I realized a horrible truth. I was lost. There was pain in his voice, and he relayed the events of the day. In the end, he'd wandered into some faraway wood and encountered vicious monsters. Just when he thought he was done for, a gray lupine boy suddenly leapt out of the forest and chased the monsters away. Without a word, then he turned around and vanished into the wood. If I could transform into a human and speak their language, I could track him down and make friends with him, he said gleefully. I couldn't help but to ask when I heard his reply. Am I not your friend? The little one answered sincerely in common tongue. Mommy told me it's different because you are my teacher, but I'd only hurt you if I told you that. He tilted his head in befuddlement. His fluffy tail patted the surrounding dandelions as he pondered over this difficult issue. I know, he bursted out. If I know something that you don't, that would make me your teacher. If we are both teachers, that would make us equals, and then we could be friends. Still unfamiliar with the common tongue, he did his best to get the sentence out quickly. Teacher, please allow me to teach you some magic that only I know. Volume 7. Teacher, please allow me to teach you some magic that only I know. Still unfamiliar with common tongue, he did his best to get the sentence out quickly, eager to befriend me. He picked a little dandelion. Dandelion, dandelion, ride on the wind to a faraway land, the fox chanted. He blew the flower and sent the seeds flying. Then he spoke in a more serious tone. May my teacher's wishes ride on the wind and reach the Animo Archon. The wind blew past us and swept the dandelion seeds. See, the Animo Archon just answered my wish, he exclaimed merrily. What wish did you make? To become friends with my teacher. He lowered his head abruptly. It must have been tiring to teach him to speak your language. Our mouths are structured differently from yours, so I must thank you for your effort. We did not notice the mother fox approaching. Her eyes were like bottomless lakes, and the little fox quietly hid himself among the dandelions to escape her gaze. When he has mastered human language, I thought to myself, when he has mastered human language, she spoke softly. When he has mastered human language, thus she said softly. I looked at her face, memorized. I couldn't hear what she said after that. The mischievous night breeze was laden with dandelion seeds which muffled her words. Or perhaps it was her native language, the language of dandelions. She began to laugh as she perceived my clumsy, gaunt appearance. She had the most beautiful laugh. The curved pupils in her eyes glistened like two crescent moons shining on ripples in the lake. Now tell me then, why is it you wish to learn fox magic? I want to learn to transform just like foxes do. That way I can turn into a bird and fly to the highest heights, and behold places that were once too far for my eyes to see. That was my reply. Ah yes, no longer will I need to lie in wait among the bushes while hunting. Instead, I will be able to flee high above like a falcon. Thus I kept thinking to myself. And as I thought to myself, the dandelion seed in my hand began to float upwards towards the moonlight, almost as if it had heard my thoughts. I see. She lowered her head slightly, and her long black hair flowed down her neck like a waterfall, glistening in the moonlight. Her pale white skin shone brightly, seemingly reflecting of the wisps in the clouds and the night sky above. I couldn't take my eyes off her. After a moment, I quickly turned my gaze away, and I started blushing again. Foxes are free animals. They would never cover their beauty because of shame like humans do. Although this certainty wasn't the first time I beheld her, every time the moonlight shone upon her long hair, I couldn't help but to blush and look away. She turned her face in thought for a moment and let out a gentle sigh. She seemed rather displeased. We sat among the dandelion sea, not saying a word. A long time passed, long enough that I started thinking that she might be angry with me. We foxes are grateful beings. I will teach you the magic of transformation and fulfill your wish, the fox said, turning her face towards me. Her lake blue eyes shone in the moonlight, and it made me feel at peace. Thank goodness she wasn't mad at me. For some reason I could not clearly name, I quietly heaved a sigh of relief. Foxes are clever animals, clever and cunning. The little fox learned very quickly and could sometimes even ask questions that would stump me. For human speech is complicated and intricate, nothing like the innocence of animal speech. Sometimes language in it is like a yarn ball caught in the paws of a cat. It catches here and there and here again. It catches a student's tongue, sometimes even tripping the teacher up. But foxes are clever animals, and are very quickly they learn the many intricacies of human speech that had handed down over the generations, become able to describe the way dandelions float away, or how the moonlight shines over the lake in a rudimentary manner. Every time the little fox discovered a new word, every time he tried using unfamiliar words to explore a familiar word, to bestow meaning upon the wind, the dandelions and the earth, she would be beside him, smiling and watching. The little fox learned very quickly, but I do not take much joy from that. When I had run out of things to teach, would she still keep me here in the dandelion sea? When the time came, I would still be able to behold those beautiful eyes under the moonlight. Would she still lead me into the depths of the dandelion sea, smiling slyly as we frolicked and breathed in the bitter fragrance that came from both the north and the south winds? As I thought about such things, I became lost in sullen memory. Yes, that's right. On the night I could no longer remember clearly, when I was about to part with the girl I loved, the same moon hung in the sky as well. I thank you for everything up until now. Before I knew it, the fox had walked in front of me. She bowed, her hair spilling over her shoulders, flowing like water in the gleaming moonlight. Once he has learned human speech, he should be able to make more new friends. I am truly thankful to you for all that you have done. He has also cheered up significantly since beginning to learn human speech. She gazed at me. Her deep, unfathomable eyes shined like jewels. Still, once you have finished teaching us the human language, where will you go then? Entrapped by those shining eyes, I forgot to reply. Was this fox magic too? Seeing my wooden expression, the fox laughed inside. Then she turned and began to walk in the direction of the moon, leading me further into the center of the moonlit dandelion sea. Seeing this, the little fox swished its tail side to side and burrowed into the dandelion fields. Man, this is a long one. Alright. The little fox kept waving back to us as he walked. His figure grew smaller and smaller until it became a tiny white spot, which blended into the dandelion sea slowly faded away. After he had gone, the mother fox turned and walked over to me. The closer she grew, the greater in stature she became. By the time she stood before me, she had transformed into a human. She was tall and a slender woman with swan-like neck and pearly skin. Her eyes sparkled like gemstones, fragments in pools of water. In the darkness, they seemed to shine like rays of sunlight on the water after filtering through the treetops. What a beauty. She looked a lot like a girl I fell in love with long ago, although I barely remember her name. Those eyes tell me she must be her. I thought to myself. For all the magic and transformation I had witnessed, still nothing amazed me quite as much as the gemstone lakes of her eyes. For a while we stood silently in the boundless dandelion sea. At last I could no longer contain myself and opened my mouth. Is this the magic you wanted to teach me, the magic of transformation? It is. I am most grateful to you for all of your help over this long period. She bowed to me, her long silky hair flowing down her shoulders like streams. Although saying farewell to the little fox left emptiness in my heart, I soon became exhilarated at the thought of transformation magic that I was about to learn. Could I transform into a flying bird once I mastered the magic? How high would I be able to fly? Maybe I could transform into a fish and finally get a chance to go to Musk Reef. I could even use the magic to hunt. I couldn't contain my excitement. No more meatless carrot stews for me. Then I shall ask you to stand still. She walked circles around me, her stature growing with every pass. No, not just her. The dandelions were also growing in size. They had only been at my ankles when she started, but now they stretched over my waist, growing as if to turn into towers of trees. It was only when I started to feel strange that I realized that the fox had become a giant. I started to feel strange, and then I noticed I had turned into a dandelion. Even if I wanted to protest, the dandelion had no mouth nor tongue for me to make a sound. All I could do was watch helplessly as the giant gently picked up the dandelion plant from the ground and held it between her thumb and index finger. Dandelion, dandelion, ride the wind to a faraway land, the fox chanted. And then with a puff, the dandelion seeds began to dance in the air. I was caught in a storm and whisked away into the distant sky. The swirling made my head dizzy. Those eyes glittering like gemstones in the lake had left me along with my consciousness and the promise she had made. O Animo Archon, I beg you to turn us into humans, for only then we can be safe from their hunting bows and knives. When I awoke, I found myself in the village behind my I found myself in the woods behind my village. The woods were full of lush trees, and the center of the woods was a small lake. The lake was like crystal-stained glass of the windows of the Mondstadt Cathedral, clear crystal and shimmering in the sunlight. The sun shone through the tree tops and glistened on the water's surface like fragments of gemstones. It really was something. The weather was cool that day, and I was hunting in the forest when I arrived at the lake's edge. The shimmering water somehow reminded me of a girl I loved long ago. I couldn't remember much about her, but I felt that her eyes must have looked like the lake, glittering as if harboring fragments of gemstones within. I must have lost myself in thought that day, drifting off to sleep as I watched the sparkling lake. That is a Katsune. You are not wrong, Bobby. That was a long one, too. Goodness. Alright, I'm going to take a moment to go to the bathroom. That was a really long that one was a really long one. Okay, I just checked, and it's mentioned in their character story that you can unlock by raising their friendship level. I'm assuming the chalk guy that you were talking about. The guy made out of chalk. So I really gotta go to the bathroom, so give me 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. Sorry that took so long. Alright. So how is everyone doing this lore day? Did the lore catch ya? It was definitely something for me, that's for sure. I really liked that Katsune story. Hello, cat. Funky books. Yeah, they are. They are definitely funky, that's for sure. Oh, man. Oh, so we have something in our... Oh, rum currency. Cool. Let's see if there's anything else I can do. Forge 20 items. I think the 4... Oh, that's gonna be a no-go for me. Because that's gonna start the story. Let's go this way. Do 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 do. Can I help you? Yeah, I'd like some items made. Oh, hey! Cool. Nice. And we got some fragile resin for it. Alrighty. I want to see a couple of things real quick before we get back to it. It was these. Boop. Oops, let's throw one. Hi, mouse. Just went in a circle. I think I already said it yesterday, but if you like The Sims, they released Sims 1 and 2. I don't actually think you said that yesterday. Maybe you did and I didn't catch it. Did they release that on, like, Xbox or as a collection or something? EA app. EA Lap Launcher. I don't know if that's something that Xbox has or not. Maybe it's a computer thing? My brain does not work anymore. Me neither. We are the same. My brain is toasty toast for the 25th anniversary. That's cool. Here we go. That was not what I was trying to do.
Freeze!
Where'd the other one go? do actually like The Sims. My wife plays Sims 4. I haven't played The Sims literally since Sims 2, I think. I might have played Sims 1 when I was like a kid. But I might be wrong on that one too.
What a pleasant surprise.
Wrong one. Cool. We can now ascend. Blop.
Although we have peace,
Excuse me.
it's time to move on. We shouldn't stay here.
Hey, 69. Alright, I think it's time to get back into the story, don't you guys? No, no. Fuck. Storm chasers, that's not what we're trying to do though. There we go. Oh, did I miss it?
Just hand it over. You don't want any trouble with me. If you think your elemental powers are enough to resist the Vision Hunt decree, then you'd better think again.
Oh,
Believe
jeez.
me, you're not the first of your kind we've encountered, and we've seen the same unpleasant outcome time after time. You'd best save yourself the trouble.
Can't you make an exception? I just got this vision. I won't even use it, I promise.
So this is the Vision Hunt decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch things unfold, can we?
Someone new, which hi, welcome to the stream, says, I'm lured up, but I'm intrigued to your interpretations. It depends on what you're asking me to interpret. There's been a lot. We read a lot of the books just now, so are you asking about one of the books specifically or just general what I think about the story? Also, is it alright for me to say your name? These streams go up onto YouTube, so I like to ask people's consent before shouting them out.
Psst! Hey, wait! Huh? There's someone trying to get our attention. Come on, this way.
That way we
What's
go.
going on? Can't you see we need to go help?
Yeah, it's fine. This name is probably as old as YouTube. Okay. Thanks, Skatepunk. It's good to see you at this stream. Thank you for your support. What exactly are you asking for as my interpretations? Again, like the main story, the nations, the books we just read, what I think of Tevat as a general statement, maybe what I think of Genshin Impact as a general statement. Just let me know.
Shh, quiet. Just sit tight and watch for a moment. Hey, this isn't right, you know. Just because you don't have a vision doesn't mean you can sit back and watch others in trouble. Huh? Hey, wait! You do have a vision!
Shh! If you don't keep your voice down. I won't have one much longer.
Alright, alright. Here, take it.
Wise choice. All right, let's go.
What should we do now? He's already given up his vision. Doesn't he know what could happen to him after losing it? This is your fault. You're the one who stopped us from interfering.
Many thanks, Miss Yoimiya. If you hadn't swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost it.
No worries. You put on quite the convincing performance.
So the vision they took was fake?
Oh, so that's what's going on here. And to think Paimon was about to unleash Paimonial wrath on Miss Yoimiya. Sorry about that.
Think nothing of it. I could tell from your reaction we were on the same side. You just didn't know it, you know?
Or maybe, Skate Punk, you want to know my interpretation of the Vision Hunt decree? I don't know. Just let me know, because there's a lot to interpret. And I could spend hours on just what I have so far if you just want generalized. But that may not be what you're looking for.
Oh, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Yoimiya, the current owner of Naganohara Fireworks. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Great to meet ya.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Yoimiya. She's the queen of the summer festival. Without her and her fireworks, summer on Narukami Island just wouldn't be the same.
Whoa, that's quite the introduction. Paimon loves fireworks. It's nice to meet you.
Stop it, Hanjiro. You'll embarrass me. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. He's the one that gave me the fake visions in the first place. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own vision. Whew, I can't even imagine trying to run the business without it. Ugh.
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man. It's too bad good people seldom get the recognition they deserve.
Master Matsukatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too?
Miss Kamisuto mentioned his name. We were just on our way to rescue him.
Say. Then it sounds like the Shirasagi Himegimi has a plan. Awesome! I've been thinking about breaking him out too recently. But if I just marched straight in there by myself, I'd probably get Miss Kamisato in a whole heap of trouble. So, what about if I join you instead?
Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must have meant you.
Seems like I finally got a new job to do. Besides hiding vision bearers in my shop, that is. So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. I've already surveyed the area and found a way in.
Whoa, talk about a reliable source. Seems we've got the right person on our team.
Not bad, huh? Let's go as soon as everyone's ready. Don't worry, Master Masakatsu. We're on our way.
Time to break him out.
In my last stream, Skater, me and Bobby were talking about paganism and how in paganism, people who are pagan like myself don't really believe that there are such thing as good gods and bad gods, just gods doing their jobs. And I was talking about how I don't like the Raiden Shogun, very specifically because she is like, she's hurting her people, the people that she's supposed to protect. And that it's pretty hypocritical of her to be doing this in this exact way. Not that she's a bad god or a good god, just that I find that her actions are kind of extremely opposite of what you would expect of a deity who has offered, or his job is to protect a nation. Oh, are we gonna pass that creepy-ass statue? Well, of course, but then there's always extenuating reasons. I mean, up to a point. To catch you up, Skater, I sorta kinda played Genshin Impact up to Semaru, except I skipped all of the story and all of the dialogue, so I'm replaying through it. So I know that the Shogun, quote unquote, has her reasons, and I'm trying to restrain myself on judgment, but from what I remember, I didn't care for her reasons. I thought that she was a hypocrite for being a person who more or less seals herself away to protect her own personal stuff, her own soul, her own body, her own consciousness, but then literally rips out the consciousness and ambition of her people, and that is unacceptable to me. Like, just purely unacceptable, because, like, why? Why would you do that? And I don't remember her giving me a good reason, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like I said, I'm replaying specifically because I wasn't paying attention, wasn't listening. I honestly thought Genshin Impact was just... the story of Genshin Impact was just another one of those stories of gacha games where it's like just a really shallow story. And I was wrong, of course, and that's why I'm replaying it. Oh, creepy statue, creepy statue, creepy statue. I hate that statue so much. Ugh. But as I'm playing back through Inazuma, my feelings, at least so far, again, maybe they will change when I have my fight with her again and I actually get to listen to what she says, but I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend that I will change my mind if I don't know yet, if that makes sense. Oh, we missed it. Doopy-doopy-doo. Can't believe they just let us walk around the building. That's so crazy. Okay, it says we need fire, so we're gonna swap out Kaya for Amber. Oh, and then we're gonna fucking fail at starting this by pushing the wrong buttons. But I am interested, like I said, in replaying and...
Oh. This place is a whole lot creepier than Paimon imagined.
Come on, this way. As long as we stay quiet, we've got a good chance. I certainly wouldn't want to end up locked away in here. Let's find Master Masakatsu and get out of here. We should split up. I've got a little present to prepare for Master Masakatsu. I'll be right back.
You sure? Alright then. Just be careful not to get caught.
Yes, you too.
Let's see, Skatepunk says, well, it's less about preserving herself directly, but I can certainly see why you'd see it that way at a glance. She does seem very unreasonable at first. Yeah, I was not paying attention. I remember just being mad at this entire nation, at this entire quest line. Not mad because I think that the story is bad or because I think it's badly written, but specifically... the Vision Hunt reminds me of the Holocaust. It reminds me of what minorities have gone through. I'm a gay person myself. I'm actually trans. And, like, literally having government or people in authority and power ruling over and saying, well, you don't get to exist. What makes you you isn't correct, isn't right, isn't lawful. So we're going to rip it away from you. Like, that really triggers me into being just angry. Because, like, why not let people just live? I was in the last stream that's up on YouTube, I was talking about how I'm not sure exactly how visions are earned, gained, or stolen, but I do know that however they are gone about being visions, they're still a part of a person. And in the last stream, we went to those 3 guys who had their visions taken from them, and they're hollow people, and that's exactly what I would assume would happen if you took, say, a Jewish person's Judaism away from them, or a gay person's gayness away from them. They would just be hollow and not themselves. And you can't claim to protect and rule over people when you refuse to actually understand people. And as a general statement, and this may be just because, Skater Punk says there are people who feel better after the visions are taken away. Granted, they are very far and few between. They do exist. Yeah, and I haven't seen that, and I don't remember that per se. But I would also assume that that's along the same lines as there's a percentage of gay and trans people, right, who wish that they weren't gay and trans. Because to be a minority, regardless of the regardless of the minority, it is easier to be the default. It is easier if...
Seems we need to collect something shaped like Magatama in order to open it.
You know, and that ties into, like, internalized misogyny, internalized homophobia, internalized just not... I don't actually like the Electro Traveler, to be honest with you. Anyway, hey, Drunk. I know that I have a friend who wishes with all of their heart that being gay was a choice. Because he just wouldn't be gay. He just wouldn't. And he's tried to be straight, and he's tried to do that whole Christian, what's it called? The conversion therapy. He tried conversion therapy, which is scientifically shown to not work. Because you can't just change who you are in that respect. And I assume that it's a lot like that. Where people may wish that they didn't have visions or whatever, but at the same time, that's still who they are. That's still part of them.
Don't hold back.
And having that taken away may be relieving for some moments, but for others it may not. And for the majority of people who are this way, it almost seems kind of silly, you know what I mean?
Allow me to strike first.
And at least for the 3 people that we see having their visions taken away, it's one of those things where I don't think that a person who wants their vision taken away understands what that actually means in terms of their physicality, their mentality, etc. That's just my interpretation of it, of course, and my thoughts on it is that it is absolutely crazy for God to be, for anyone of authority, to be like, you have this thing that makes you unique. I'm going to tear it away and make it outlawed. Ooh, that hurt. But her goal about more than preservation of eternity than oppressing a minority. She's oppressing everyone. She is oppressing everyone. That makes her a tyrant. It's just she's also oppressing a minority. Like, our government here in America is about profit, but in their search for profit, they are oppressing minorities. Like, you can have a different reason for wanting to do something, but the effect of that thing is still she's oppressing her people and oppressing minorities. That makes her a tyrant, and I fucking hate tyrants. Period. I don't care if they're real or fictional. I can't get along with people who, in their blindness, in their inability to be a part of people, a part of the population that they're either ruling over or protecting, they have decided that they know best without even ever... I mean, again, Kami Soto says it the best. You know, she's ruling over these people, but at the end of the day, the show, or the commissions are the... Can we check? The shogun, the commissions are the people who have to actually deal with the outcome of that. And again, your intentions, Shogun's, not yours, but Shogun's intentions can be as good or as bad as she wants. The fact of the matter is she is still oppressing her people. Whether it's personal or not doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is she is hurting tons and tons of people with her actions. Like, her country is poor, and they don't have technology, let alone food. There are people who are starving under her care, and she doesn't care. How is she supposed to have a country ruled of eternity if everyone is fucking dead? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, that whether she means to kill everyone or not, that doesn't matter. People are dying because of her decrees, both the isolationist decree, which I can't remember what it's called right now, and the vision hunt decree are both hurting people very, very badly and are killing her country. And that, to me, makes her not a good leader and makes her a tyrant.
I won't forget this.
And I don't know. Again, I'm replaying, so maybe there might be a reason that will make me go, oh yeah, no, I get it. But I honestly don't think there is, just because of the person I am and the things that I've had to go through in my own life. It makes it hard for me to justify or understand people who would make these choices. Can you stop kicking my ass, please?
Allow me to strike first. I dare you!
Thunderclap!
Watch your step, a word. Strain hard.
Ooh, that was a hard fight. But like I said, I'm still replaying very specifically because, again, there might be some reason that will make me go, oh yeah, now I understand. But I highly doubt it. So far, out of all of the Archons that I've met, like, I've been kind of mad at Rex Lapis because, come on, bro. I understand you're tired, but why literally try to, quote-unquote, test your people to see if they're ready to live without you when that could have actually, like, harmed them greatly? At least he had a backup plan, and I get that. And that made me go, okay, you have a backup plan. You were gonna help if it was necessary, but it just wasn't necessary.
Show me what you strike first.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the reason, but that's fair. Again, although I've played, I do want to stay away from spoilers because I don't remember crap.
Take this!
We need to eat. But I hope you stay in the stream, in the game and stuff. While not in the game, but I hope you stay in the stream and stuff enough to see when I do actually get to the Shogun. Ow.
Watch your step.
Because I think it will be fun to talk about this when I actually play through and see more of the actual reasons and stuff.
Barbados, guide
Show me
us.
what you've got.
With sword comes shadow.
Don't hold back. Show me what you've got.
No one escapes my sight. Speed of light.
Watch your step.
Don't blink.
I dare you, bastard. Allow me. I need you to strike first. Train harder.
Shut the that down. Grab this piece. Well, usually it's wherever enemies are, so... Man, this is like doing nothing to him. Maybe quick fire is a better way around this.
Incoming! Hey!
Ooh, that didn't work how I thought it would. I would say that you should definitely play Rating Story Quest once you can, both of them. That's Bobby Vita and Skater. For sure. I do plan on playing everyone's Story Quest eventually. I'm not really sure when I should play Story Quests of people, to be honest with you. With Amber C1, people play her Rapid Fire. She is a C0 for me. Though to be fair, everyone is a C0 for me. That is the perks and downsides of being a new player. I don't even think I have... I think I have one C1 on my main account.
Lightning flash!
Yeah, I feel like I brought the wrong people here. I feel like this would have been better with, like, Kaya. I recommend... Skaterpunk says, I recommend doing them in the region they're from. It makes more sense that way. Oh, well then I'm already kind of fucked up. Maybe I'll spend a day or two doing some of the story stuff. You do have to, get the... That's not the right one. So I have 2 keys, and I do know that... Well, there's tons of them. That you need keys in order to unlock people's stuff. And mostly follow the order within the list. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, maybe next stream I will... Hangouts? Oh, are these hangouts? Okay, gotcha. So yeah, maybe next stream I will do, I guess I can do 2 of the story quests, and then we'll just try to do them as we can. But it's definitely kind of too late to do them regionally, that's for sure. This is definitely the door where it's supposed to be open. Ah, here we go. Chest! Hangouts are essentially branching path visual novel dates with 4 stars. Dating sims. Let's go. Facts. Skaterpunk says facts.
Shh! Quick! Hide! Look over there. That must be Master Masakatsu.
Did you really think that little trick of yours could fool us? Locking you up was just the beginning.
Bobby says they give lots of primos.
No.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh no! Those Tenryou Commission brutes are torturing him!
If we don't come up with a way to break him out fast, then... Huh? Yoimiya, when did you get back here?
We can only grit our teeth for now. We need to ensure we have a means of
I
escape.
can't bear to watch. If anything happens to Master Masakatsu, our whole plan will have been for nothing.
Hey, you there! What are you doing?
Ma'am.
We were just teaching him a little lesson. That's
Oh,
all.
I remember this chick.
Who's that?
That's Kujo Sara, adopted daughter of the Kujo clan of the Tenryo Commission. She's also a general in the Shogun's army. What's she doing here?
I think Kazuha mentioned her before. She is also enforcing the Vision
Make
Hunt
way!
decree.
Let me have a look at him. I'm sure you're well aware that torture is strictly against military regulations.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are unashamed of such disgraceful action, then you are also unworthy of the Tenryo Commission itself. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am. It won't happen again.
Paimon sure wouldn't want to get on her bad side.
Hey, this is our chance. Let's move while they aren't watching Master Masakatsu.
Yoimiya, are you sure now's the right time?
Who is that? Quick, go and investigate.
Yes, ma'am.
They're coming! Quick, hide!
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
We're in trouble now. They'll find us for sure if we don't do
worry,
something.
I've got us covered. Time for my little present.
Fireworks!
Huh? Was that an explosion?
It sounded like fireworks.
Quick, let's hurry!
The fireworks were enough to distract them. Maybe more than enough.
Fireworks aren't just for festivals, you know.
I knew we could count on you.
I was particularly proud of this batch. I decided to.
Whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yoimiya, this is turning into a bit of a fireworks display.
Well, fireworks are my craft after all. Every batch has to be spectacular.
Look, the coast is clear.
Oh,
Now's
shit.
our chance.
I'm beginning to think this wasn't the only intended use. That's what I get for not paying attention when I push buttons. Let's go get the prisoner!
Yoimiya, is that you?
Master Masakatsu! Sorry we took so long. Oh, those awful guards.
Come on, we've got no time to lose. They could be back any minute. Oh.
You were over there watching us the whole time,
Yes.
weren't you?
Leave, before I let my judgment get the better of me. He's in serious condition. Be sure he gets immediate medical attention. But remember, once he's recovered, it won't be long until I bring him right back.
Well,
Which?
you can bet we'll do all we can to keep that from happening.
Thank you.
Leave this place.
If I remember right, she's like a hard ass, but like reasonable. More reasonable than some people. Oh wait, a chest! Nom 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 nom. And 10 primos, let's go.
Whew. We're finally out of that creepy place.
Yes. Finally, I've made it out of there.
Master Masakatsu, how do you feel? Can you hold on?
Don't worry. I think I can make it to the infirmary without keeling over.
Thank you. All of you. I'll take him to get treated. I'll treat you to a round of drinks once this is all over.
Don't worry about us. Just take care of Master Masakatsu. Good thing we were able to rescue him.
Luck was on our side this time, all thanks to that person.
Right, Kujosara. Do you think she was making up for how the guards were treating him? It seems as though there are some okay people among the ranks of the Tenryou Commission. Though Paimon would never agree with their actions in the Vision Hunt Decree, of course. How about we go tell Ayaka and the others the good news?
Back to the tea house we go. Yeah, as pretty as Inazuma is, the quest line... This quest line almost made me quit the game the first time I played through. And I only stayed because I had a strong suspicion that we'd be able to fight the Raiden Shogun, and I was like, I want to fight this god. As a pagan, sometimes you like gods, sometimes you don't like gods, other times you straight up go to war with them because what they are doing is just wrong. And that's kind of where I'm sitting, is like, I want to smash her face in. This is so bad for the people, and I couldn't imagine having a vision and all my ambitions just ripped away from me.
So Kujosara stayed her hand. It would appear she still has some honor to her. I wonder if we should try establishing contact with her. Perhaps we could coax out some information.
Unlikely. Don't forget, Kujosara is also carrying out the Vision Hunt Decree. She obeys the orders of the Raiden Shogun without question. In her eyes, Master Masakatsu is of no threat to the decree. This is why she was so willing to allow his escape. If our true motives were ever divulged, she would act against us without a second thought.
True. Though if you ask me, Master Masakatsu's release is an unexpected blessing. We are now one step closer to victory. And we couldn't have done it without Yoimiya and the Traveler. You're turning out to be even more reliable than we expected.
Thanks for the compliment.
Don't mention it.
Indeed. Things may have turned out very differently this time without the help of the Traveler. But if we wish to mount any sizable resistance against the Vision Hunt Decree, there is still much to be done. It is time we make ready our next set of plans.
There's no need to rush, my lady. Things seem to have taken a turn for the better, at least. Not only have we rescued Master Masakatsu, but our list of allies appears to be growing. Yes, which reminds me. The Tenryou Commission seems to be making preparations for a celebration. They call it a ceremony of sorts. And the number of samurai out enforcing the Vision Hunt Decree seems to be waning. The days ahead may be more peaceful than usual.
A ceremony, you say? Why would such a task be left to the Tenryou Commission?
I don't know, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with us. Anyway, with the Tenryou Commission busy with preparations, we should have a little more breathing room than usual.
You do present a good point. Being in a constant state of alert will only tire us further. Perhaps a period of rest is in order. Toma, what would you suggest?
I'd say a celebratory feast is in order. Might I suggest an evening of hot pot together? Funny enough, I learned a new hot pot game recently. I'm sure you'll find it quite amusing.
A hot pot game? What's that? Well, as long as it has to do with eating.
Simply put, every person prepares an ingredient to add to the hot pot. Once the meal begins, we add all the ingredients together. Then we take it in turns to close our eyes, pick an ingredient out of the pot, taste it, and guess whose ingredient it was. Anyone who guesses correctly can go again, and whoever finishes the meal with the most points is declared the winner. Tradition even has it that the winner receives blessings from the god of hot pot. Don't you think it sounds like fun? I've been wanting to give it a try. In fact, I've already got my ingredients prepared.
You really do want to play, huh? Well, sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Time to gather some ingredients. But what should we choose?
Let's, stick to classics.
Let's see what we've got here. Fresh fish fillets, shrimp, bamboo shoots. Nice! You can't go wrong with these. Paimon can't wait.
Slime incandescence, yes!
Paimon never
Absolutely.
thought we'd be the only ones to actually put anything edible into the pot. Don't go wasting the rest now. This was possibly the scariest looking hot pot Paimon's ever seen. Fortunately, Toma ended up eating all the weird stuff.
You can say that again. But hey, at least I got the most points. Oh, wait a moment. That doesn't feel good.
I'm afraid it's your own fault for adding all those strange ingredients, Toma. The soup flavor wasn't quite the same afterwards. Even with the traveler's normal ingredients, I still couldn't guess any of them correctly.
But weren't you the one who added those little cakes, Ayaka? I think the traveler ended up eating one. Boiling cakes in hot pot? Ugh. Think of the texture.
I must apologize. To be perfectly honest, I thought the cakes would be a tasty addition.
Uh-oh. I'm definitely not okay. I need to lie down.
After a while.
I feel like a new man.
You know,
Paimon,
Toma,
that's your
all
host.
you had to do
For
was
real.
guess wrong on purpose, and it would have been someone else's turn. Talk about being competitive.
I love my face.
Guess I've been feeling unlucky recently and wanted the God of Hot Pot's blessing. Perhaps I did get a little carried away. Still, I couldn't be beaten at my own game first time around. I think my luck has already taken a turn for the better. I can sense it. So without further ado, I hereby declare that the winner of today's Hot Pot Challenge is me.
Oh, brother.
Good effort, team. Another important job taken care of. Next on the agenda, some well-earned rest and relaxation.
Yes, if the Tenryou Commission truly is as busy with preparations as Toma claims, then some rest would be a welcome change of pace. And with the extra time, there are some other matters I wish to attend to.
Let's all take some much-needed time off. After a few days' rest, we'll reconvene at the Komori Tea House and discuss our next operation. Downtime is hard to come by these days, so be sure to make the most of it. I'll tidy things up here and start thinking about our ingredients for our next round.
There's gonna be a sequel?
Sure, why not? We should play again now that everyone knows the rules. I'll see you all later.
Bye, Toma.
I hate the stupid wait 2 days steps.
Seems we won't need
Yeah,
to
but
be
at least you
visiting
don't
the
have to wait
Komori
2
Tea House
real
for a
life
while.
days.
Why don't we go
When I
explore
first
some
got
other
one of these, I
places?
thought that you needed to wait 2 real life days. And thankfully, remembered in time that there's a whole, what's it called? A whole time skippy thing. So that actually saved me a lot of time. But yeah, at least it's not 2 real life days.
Where do we go from here? What's the plan?
Traveler, Paimon, hold on.
Huh? Ayaka?
What's the
Something
matter?
has come up, and I would like to request your assistance. But you ought not be nervous. This is not coming from the Yashiro Commission or the Kamisato clan. It is my own individual request.
Individual request? You mean personal stuff?
Correct. It concerns my mother. This may seem a little sudden, but in my view, you are the only person I can entrust this to.
Oh right, Ayaka and Yomiya story quest. Can you give me any more
A few
details?
days ago, I was sorting through some old family belongings when I found a notebook that belonged to my mother. She wrote about all kinds of things, mostly of little consequence. But what drew my attention was a name. It is one that I have never heard before, so the fact that she mentions it so frequently, it makes it difficult for me to ignore.
Probably your mom's best buddy, right?
You really never heard the name before? Not even
Never.
once?
And although my mother and father passed away many years ago, both my brother and I are familiar with the vast majority of their acquaintances. So, I am very curious about this mysterious individual. I would very much like to meet them. According to the notebook, their name is Tsubaki. This seems to have been someone very important to my mother. Someone with a lot of personality, who liked to have fun.
Paimon thinks it sounds like a girl's name.
That's what I thought too.
So what do you want us to do? Do you need us to find her for you?
No. Her address is given in the notebook. We can head straight there. I wanted you to assist me with the preparation of greeting gifts. Please keep everything I have told you in strict confidence. The proper course of action would be to involve my brother and visit her together, but he is terribly busy at present, and on a more selfish note, I don't wish to involve anybody else from Inazuma in this matter.
Hence why you came to me, an Outlander.
That, and you are also a kind, well-mannered person with a genuine concern for other people. Not to mention trustworthy. I would not feel comfortable with anyone else in this situation.
You can count on us! We've done greeting gifts before, so we should be able to help. In terms of payment, just treat us to some delicious food and we'll be more than happy.
Wonderful.
Paimon.
In fact, I was hoping
Floating
to take
stomach.
this opportunity to show you both around. If you don't mind, of course.
Oh, we don't mind. We don't mind at all. Do we?
Thank you
Not in the
kindly.
slightest.
Shall we head off then? Ogura Textiles and Kimonos is our first stop.
Alright, sounds great.
Whispers of the Crane and the White Rabbit. Just bothers me. Oh, Skate Punk says it bothers me that they make us do it when they could have just fade to black and tell us it's only been 2 days. Yeah, that's fair. I want to check something real quick. I don't think I have enough wishes. Nope, just 2. Excuse me. I marked something over here, so let's go see. I guess it hasn't respawned yet. Happens. Nope. Fades to black are only for skipping when we are informed people of stuff. I know, right? Yeah. That's crazy that that's the only time that they really use it. Let's see. Let's get out in front of where we need to be. And then unfortunately, it is time for me to start shutting down my stream because I do have work today, which is sad. I'm actually really enjoying the quest lines today. And the talking, discussing of all of this stuff. Makes me really happy, guys. Thank you as always for your support. Thank you, Punk, for dropping by. I hope you guys come tomorrow for my next stream. And Skate Punk, I really hope that you stick with the stream and we get to talk about the Shogun after the story quests and stuff. I think it would be good. I think it'll be fun. to really talk about how you see things, how I see things, how Bobby sees things. Maybe Saints will drop by. But as a general statement, this is definitely a deeper story than I first thought. And I'm glad that I'm replaying through. Even if it is a bit tedious at times. I hope everyone has a good day. Bye, Wisps!